Okay, so let's go over a few other things related to the blog, and here we'll go back to the template. Uh, the layout, actually. I want to go to the layout setting. Um, and up here, favicon, I don't know where that word comes from. You can leave that alone, actually. That's just a little blogger thing. Nav bar. You can choose one so you see that fits the style, the look, the color of your blog. And part of the customization, you can choose colors and all of that. And again, I don't want you to get too crazy about this stuff, but as you can see, under the header, you can add a gadget. On the side area, add gadgets, and at the bottom as well, add gadgets. Here is the post area, the area for the posts. And you can also adjust the column widths if you want wider columns, so you can fit in larger images or video. That also comes up with the template designer or with different templates. But I just really quickly want to go through the add a gadget function. So right now we just have followers, blog archive, about me. Some of the possible additions that you might want. Here they're just showing some of the newer ones. We won't bother with these. We don't have any posts, so no point in having popular posts and stats. I guess the pages, this says already added, but it's not showing up there. We're not doing the monetizing. Followers is there. Search box, make it easy to search your blog. Let's add that one. Okay, so title, this gives you the information, and this is what it would look like, a little search box. So let's hit save and see, here it is. It's shown up here. We could actually move it, so if we want it to be further down, we can move it, change the order of things, and edit it however we like. So you could take a look at that. There are lots and lots of gadgets to look through. This one, HTML, JavaScript, anything from anywhere else, or you could just add some HTML. Here you can just add any kind of text into a box, add a picture, including a picture of yourself, add a slideshow from Flickr or actually this is a slideshow of your photos to your blog. Here you can put in a video, embed a video onto your blog. You can set up a poll or survey on your blog. Blog list is nice, and this is something we'll want to add later on. A blog list, in fact, what I'll ask you to do, so I'm going to put this in. Let's just add this in for now, and I'll put it down here. Eventually, what I'd like you to do, when we have the URLs of everyone, all the blogs in the class, I'd like everyone to include a blog list so we can all promote each other in this blog list. So you can have a list of all the other class blogs. Anyway, where were we? Blog list, a link list, list of links, any other kind of list. A feed is always a good thing. Well, we'll leave that alone. Newsreel is actually a way to add content to your blog. If you look at it here, you can add basically items that would be come in under a search, so that if you might title here Boston Terrier News, search expression, what you would put into Google search, I would put in Boston Terrier, and hopefully that'll work. That should allow you to have a list of articles or news items related to Boston Terriers or whatever your topic is. It may be that if there is no news, you'll get other kinds of general stuff. But anyway, labels, let me just ask that you add this, make sure you add labels to your site, but we'll discuss what they're about later. It's kind of like tagging, and it's an important part of setting up a blog, but we won't worry about how to use them until a little later on. Subscription links. Let your readers easily subscribe to your blog. Now that sounds like a good idea. We want people to subscribe to our blog, so let's add that. Let's go back down. Logo, we don't need. Profile is already there. Blog archive, very important thing to add, is already there. And page header is already added as well. So these are the basics, and then you can certainly feel free to go through others, but again, that's something you might want to hold off till later. Once this is done, you also need to save arrangement, which I've done here, and we can preview or look at it. Now we can see here I've added a little description under the title, and now you can see I don't know why the news thing isn't working quite right, but you can see that I've added these various gadgets here to look at. Okay, and now posts. The one thing we want to do is start posting. That's the main order. So create a new post. Let's just look at what that looks like. And here you can see here, every post should have a title. Very important. It should always have a title. It's possible to have a post that doesn't have a title, but I'm telling you, as a general rule for this class, make sure every post has a title. It makes them easy to find in the archive, and it's like every article in a magazine having a title. That's just how you do it. Okay, this is the box. You can write in it. The sort of the cliche first post is "Hello World." That this text goes in here. You can see the controls are pretty basic. There's an undo and redo control. There are a small number of fonts that we can select here. Let me take, George is kind of, or let's try Courier. Makes it look like it. No. I think maybe, I never know how to pronounce that. So let's go with Verdana. Okay, we got Verdana. I can also go from very small to up to the largest kind of type. So let me do that. And you may want to do boldface or italics or underline it. You can even do strike through, but I won't bother with that. And sometime you may want to change the color of it, there's also a highlighting function. I don't think it's particularly important, and we'll get into these things later, but you can add links to make an active hyperlink to any text. You can insert images, insert videos. I'm not sure. Insert jump break. Okay. We can center the text or do it left justified, center it, or right justified, or left and right. And then these are options that should be familiar to you from word processing, doing the numbered list, doing the bulleted list. The quote indents gives you it's a block quote function, gives you a right-hand indent. This allows you to quickly remove the formatting, and then there's a spell check function. Very important, but once again, remember, don't rely on it only on spell check. You have to do a visual your own visual review and proofreading and copy editing of your writing. So here we go. Here's my first post, and you can see here this is in the compose mode. Also HTML. This shows you the HTML code for the post that you've done. That's actually very useful, because even if you don't know anything about HTML, you can start taking a look, and just by looking at it, learn a little bit about how HTML works, just from the look at it. It also helps. These things are glitchy sometimes. There are problems, so sometimes it's worth going into the HTML and trying to noodle around, figure out what might be the problem and how it might be solved. This is also it's a little known thing, but it's also nice to know that even if you can even use this not to create a post, but just to generate HTML code for some other place, other site, or other function. If you just want a quick and easy way to create a bit of HTML code, you can just go to the post, go to your blog, and create it on as a post, and then copy the HTML code and transfer it wherever you like. In any event, up here, right, we have a save button. You can save a draft of it, so we'll do that. You can preview it. It show you what it'll look like on your blog. There, that's the preview of it. And then there is the publish option. More advanced, we'll get into it later, it would be to add labels to it, which we'll talk about, as I said, later on. You can also schedule things ahead of time, which is nice sometimes to be able to do. You can add options, which I don't really want to deal with here, but if you're if that interests you, and here are some other optional elements. So let's just do the publish. It's been published, and now here we're seeing under posts the post being listed. So we can actually go back to the post and take a look at it after it's been published. Update is republishing it, but I can actually edit it. I'm going to close it or view it. Right. Go back to design and then to posts on the right here, and I can always go back. That's the great thing. You can always go back and edit and fix it. So whatever problems there are, they're not permanent. They can be fixed. They can be improved. And delete. You don't like it, you can always delete the post as well. Okay, but here we have it. And this isn't the view. As you see, these little icons here, the toolbox icons, are because I'm signed in, so they let me from this view go and actually tinker around, rather than having to go into the design mode to find them.